So here's a look at the first match of the day. Kritvika Sinaroy and Ahika Mukherjee. No question about it. And what a receive there in terms of picking up that net ball. After it came down, Ahika Mukherjee using the forehand. Again, neither side is outstandingly aggressive.
I'd say that's very, very good for the young Dabang Delhi girl.
Perfect placement here as Ahika moves to the middle of the table. Kritvika lets the arm hang just behind and drags it back. Watch one more time, deep to the corner. It's a long way to go for Ahika.
Best of three, though.
Outstanding rally, countered back. Remember, she's got medium pips on the forehand, but she played it almost like an inverted attacker from behind the table. It looked like she thought the point was over for a moment, but got back, countered it. Just for a moment, you thought she might have been out of the point. Ahika's never out of the point. Chases it down, slapped right back to the middle, and that is it. Comes down to the golden point, and Ahika, you can see Sabina Winter already on her feet. Even she thought it was over. Backhand with no sponge and a hard-hitting forehand. Wow, it seems to be the land of innovators here. The Indian women just making it so challenging. And Ahika, again, waiting with those medium pips. 5 game points on her side and the serve. She's bringing her opponent in and out and completely in control here. And just on the backhand push, they said this was her specialty shot. Normally for a player, it's the least glamorous shot in the game. It's like telling someone, a push for your specialty shot, that's like saying a layup in basketball or catching the ball in cricket. It's just sort of the basics, but she uses it so well out here. It dominates game number 2. He plays her style, so it's going to be very difficult for Zhuang Zhiyuan.
Oh, yeah. Did they say that's her favorite shot? We saw the stat earlier on that she hadn't made too many, 6 of 15. Ahika still the favorite.
Ooh, well, 2 game points saved, and once again we'll see a golden point. Right now, if I had to judge on body language and facial expression alone, Kritvika's feeling the pressure right now, but looks like maybe the same for Ahika.
Well, see what it meant to the Dabang Delhi dugout. Oh, did the serve go long?
Oh, that's a tough way to end. Kritvika making it all the way back, saving 2 game points with the serve on her side for golden point. You could see how much she wanted to keep it baseline. There's a lot of pressure if you leave it too shallow, if you leave it too high. Ahika's been very strong in controlling, as we mentioned. Backhand push, the forehand slap shot. So tough cookie right now. And I'd say a tough crumbling of that cookie for Kritvika Roy. Here we've got a whole new game. G. Satyan, that's Satyan Yanashekaran on the left, as fast as can be on top of the bounce, a fighter through and through. And on the other side, Harmeet Desai, big forehand. He's got outstandingly fast footwork as well, but plays with a bit more spin than Satyan Yanashekaran.
But of course, in terms of ranking, Satyan much better. And has he learned also to absorb the limelight? That's also so important, Adam, not to be phased by crowds or with expectation of paraprofessional.
Receive game, the touch game goes first. Oh, what a beautiful shot. Satyan floating in like an angel, getting in over the table and ripping with the backhand.
Well, how strange, because that is Harmeet's favorite shot. And who gets the point off that shot? Satyan.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts.
One of you change his strategy and just become more aggressive in that second game, because we get to it now. Harmeet once again going long. He will be thinking, I'm sure his team will try and work something out to combat the superior skills of Satyan.
It's more speed. Gets a lot of balls back on the table quickly. Oh, and a break off the net, but he's everywhere. He was hanging out on the forehand side, recovering a net. Next thing you know, he's deep in the backhand corner for the winner. Again, that higher toss on the tomahawk serve. Oh, and the kill shot, a little flatter, but right to the wide line there on a step round. He was out of position, still took the risk, and it paid off. Kritvika Roy on the losing end of both of those. Ahika strong in the end. Oh, and the push, a break off the net, Harmeet Desai. Celebrating and apologizing at the same time, and Satyan scratching his head and saying, well, what are you going to do? So it's tied up, 1 game apiece. We'll see who wins this match. Oh, Satyan holding him back. Blocking the first two, playing defensively, just keeping himself as close to the table as he can. Getting in for the big counter. Percentage-wise, they're 13 of 46. That is outstanding play!
Unbelievable! Have we been talking about defense? Satyan just showed remarkable recovery.
Like a road runner out here. This one, he had both of his feet in the air, completely off the ground. Saves this to the baseline of the table. It is so tough to drop.
Now it's the serve.
Oh, and he gets his revenge. Satyan Yanashekaran, season 1 undefeated, season 3 undefeated so far, and a good portion of season 2 as well. Again, there is a big reason that he's world number 24, and he gets his revenge in a best of 3 over Hermit Desai, 11-9 in the decider. Yeah, Bernie Such is one of the top European players in the world. Her and Sofia Polkanova right now. Very strong. It's going to be tough for Sabina if it comes down to the end. Look at this backhand flick from just inside the table to start it off. A parallel winner. Working so hard to be, for me, one of the most physically fit players in the league.
He still looks very fit, very strong. Nice and deep. Oh! Ahika trying to go on the parallel. But good recovery by Satyan for sure.
Because of off-court personality. Had a lot of meals with Satyan recently on the World Tour. Oh, man. And he is confident. And he's earned that confidence. Game score here, 11-6. It seemed like just a moment ago there were 2 points between them, but a quick 3 in a row from 8-6. Giving the funk out to everybody else, but here she had to deal with it from Bernie.
Oh, we like that point. Lots of aggression. Chuang finally on the winning side. Way against the form book here.
Oh, that's too tough. When Ahika's a step behind the table and she plays a defensive shot, Satyan showed us exactly what will happen. The ball's been naughty. It's going to get a spanking. 3 game points. That's right.
Once again, sitting up. Ahika's slow play for the moment in doubles is not really helping the team because the ball's sitting up and Satyan's taking full toll. They're taking it 11-6 and 11-7. 2-0. They're keeping it low because it's a slow game. If she pops it up, Satyan's right there to take advantage. Oh, well done.
Top edge of the racket. Doesn't miss by a lot, though. I mean, that ball can go over the lighting fixture as high as can be. It could come down on the table, come back over the net. Suddenly, the team that thought they had won the point is in trouble. And 3 points to get 3 points on the scoreboard for their team to take the lead 5-4, the overall team tie. Oh, what touch! Satyan dropping it just short. Super clever indeed. He's engineered his way. The engineer has engineered his way through. It's a 3-0 victory. Crucial points here. And for me, Charu, the reason that I think we picked Dabang Delhi T.T.C to win this overall match. The Swede, Yoon Persson on the left, versus the player from the Chinese Taipei team, Zhuang Zhiyuan for Puneri Paltan. What deception there with the backhand miss, guys. I'd love to see that one again, the way he redirected that out wide to the forehand. That hasn't come out to play yet. Oh,
just it.
Curse of the commentator. You know what else hasn't come out to play? That shot where he does a cartwheel and hits it around the net. A little bit off the top of the net there for Chwani to break the rhythm. Yoon Persson we've seen with some big counters, offensive timing-wise in terms of recovery. And will experience 7 points in a row for Zhuang Zhiyuan.
You can see the head shake of Persson, the body language not good. He's saying, what happened here? Oh, great defense again!
And Zhuang Zhiyuan with a bit off the top of the net, but still manages to side spin it up. What a turnaround from the backhand. Step here to the short side, short stroke. That's the one that clips the net and comes down right near the baseline, stopping Yoon Persson in his footsteps. What a recovery. Zhuang Zhiyuan is definitely up in years right now for table tennis, but he is far from out.
8 straight points for Zhuang to take that opening game. We'll be back with the second in a moment.
They know that, and they work point by point to come back. Oh, break
again. Great defense by Persson. Now he can only shake his head. Luck not going the way of the Swede as well.
Outstanding volley! just gets better and better, Charu. I mean, I was starting to remember the Yoon Persson that I've seen winning on the World Tour, and it was the firepower that he brings out shot after shot here. He was relentless. He was merciless. There was no hesitation, yet Jwang Ji-Yuan was there for every shot, leaping to counter back with the backhand. Oh, it's too pretty.
Certainly in favor of Chuang there. So that's going to be it.
11-8.
So Chuang's going to take this match, but as we've been saying, every game is important. We'll come back with game number 3 in a moment.
Out of socket.
What a point to set up game 3. About Vinter, I suppose she should also send up, don't try this at home. Vesna, Oyster second, of course, Sachin Shetty sitting in the background to the right there. Sure they have a lot to say to Persson about conditions, about Delhi, about... Oh, once again short. Nice point though. Great for the crowd to have a rally of that nature, aggressive rally.
Still a 2-point lead for Jwang Ji-Yuan. All right to the line. I think confidence will be running high. Oh, nice placement here. Yoon Persson. This really changes things up. Again, that cushion you talk about. If we come into the last game 6-6, it's just a question of whoever wins the match wins the team tie. Even when you're down 0-2, you can deliver. And Yoon Persson does a big win. This is much bigger than it looks. It could ultimately determine the winner of this team tie. He was down 0-2, 55 in the world versus a player who's been top 10. The reaction of Satya Gnanashekaran and Yoon Persson not giving up when he was down, clinching the fist and pulling through was crucial.
And the entire team as well, for Vesna Oyster as well as Sachin Shetty. The whole team went up, though you can argue that he's lost the match here, 1-2, but just that 1 point of the final game, as you've been saying, could be critical in taking Dabang Delhi through. Final match, this is it. Sabina Vinter of Puneri Paltan will have to try and win at least 1 game from Bernie Soch of Dabang Delhi. Player, but otherwise, of course, she's got a very pleasant, easy personality, if I might say so. So I wonder if that eventually makes any difference out there at the table. The deception as well. And Bernie Soch showed that in the mixed doubles too, that she can go either side. Very deceptive.
Yeah, for me, she's a bit more of a balanced player and a bit more of a creative player. New shoes, they're glowing, and just like a flash of light as she turns the corner.
Oh yeah, off the net. Sabina had plenty of time to line that up, even though your timing does go off when it clips off the net. But that one sat up, plenty of time.
And Bernie would have been the favorite on paper. Sabina playing out of her mind to start this match. Takes the first game 11-5, more than doubling the score of her opponent that we both picked to win this match. She only needs one of the next 2, and her team has taken the first tie to get a lead.
Not good enough. So, oh, catch at the end of the table.
A bit off the edge here, the ball deflecting out wide. Sabina Vinter, not much she can do about this. Here's the soft flick to the middle. A little bit high, Bernie with the time to step around. But the flick goes out. Bernie Soch and her tomahawk serve come through this game 11-7, victoriously tied up that tomahawk. Look how fast the ball is fizzing with spin out here. The kick, the bend, and ultimately the game.
Bernie Soch takes the second game here, and we're tied 7 apiece in the tie. And we'll be right back with the final game that will decide this opening tie on day 1.
In their dugout.
Everything to play for, and I do think that the momentum is with Bernie Soch, even as she loses the first point in the final game.
Forehand for days, footwork for weeks. Sabina Vinter allowing no backhand to come out and play right now. Hasn't dropped a point. I think that was Bernie's way of saying I think it was a let service. Sabina plays it passively back. They agreed. Wow, this is the biggest.
That's special for Sabina Vinter. Should remember this one.
Well, this was a very difficult ball to play. It was heavy top and side spin to the short side of the table. This ball's loaded. A lot of players would chop block that with side and underspin just because it was so uncomfortable. Desai with his 1 game. Oh, Sabina Vinter does it, 11-9 in the decider. She pulls off the victory. Everybody here was picking asking Dabang to win this. Defending champions upset Sabina with the glowing shoes, the fast feet, and the furious forehands. Pulls through under pressure. What a performance for the UTT veteran, Charu.
Puneri Paltan take the first tie on the opening day of UTT Season 3. It could not, Adam, have been any closer.